Hey everybody, Ecto Eric here. So let's talk about stuff like ghosts and hauntings and stuff like that. Now, with people get confused with the word supernatural and paranormal. Supernatural basically is something that's otherworldly that we can't explain by science or by rational, like really out there. And with paranormal basically, if you just take the word para, it means parallel, and the normal is basically what's considered normal, which everybody has a different version of what normal is. Um, so people get those confused, and the same thing with ghosts. There's many definitions of ghosts. Every culture in the world has their own version of ghosts and spirits and stuff like that. So it's you look it up and you're going to get there is no precise definition of supernatural, paranormal, ghost. It's so wide because everyone has because there's nothing. The only thing in science that we can hold on to is that we run off electricity. Everything in our body, our brains, everything. So everything that we know, science teaches us that energy can't be created nor destroyed. So it can only get transferred. So since we are energy, we pass on. That energy just does. It's not like a dead battery where it flattens out. It's not what happens. That energy gets transferred somewhere. Where does it go? Does it go into ether? Does it go off into a different parallel? Does it? We don't know. I mean, I don't have an answer for you. Of course, a lot of people think it just becomes, a spirit, and either you ascend to wherever you believe in, or you're stuck wandering the world, kind of like Jacob Marley does, observing things for all eternity. Don't know. So I'm curious about what you guys think. I know what I think. And do I believe in ghosts? Yes, I've told you that many times. Yes, I do. I totally believe. Um, Now, I have heard my name many times, whether it's, my mom saying my name. Doesn't mean I think she's in the next room. I it's personal. It's perfectly normal to have an audio hallucination. She said my name hundreds of times over the time I was with her, until she passed away 28 years ago. So it's not unheard of that I wouldn't have a hallucination of her saying my name. It doesn't mean she's over there, and that'd be nice, but don't know. So I, I don't like to tell people, oh, that's not true. I don't know. I don't know what your belief is or what your experiences are. I've had experiences. I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there have. And for me to say, "Oh, you're crazy," well, yeah, you might be crazy. Hell, I'm crazy, and I know it. I mean, I'm not. I don't deny it. Look what I have. I got two one-to-one proton packs. I mean, they got lights that blink. They're not going to throw out, any energy or anything. That'd be cool if they did, but I'm pretty sure I would be in jail because might burn stuff down accidentally. Of course, I'm not a pyromaniac or anything. Um, but I'm just curious what you guys think. If you have any stories, please feel free to share because I'm not here to judge. Like I said, I've had physical encounters. I've seen so many so many weird things, and it could be just all in my cabeça, which is Portuguese for head. It could be. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, the mind is a very very intricate thing that we don't even know how it works. We don't. People that doctors that study it can give you an idea, but we don't know how it works. And everybody has different outcomes on things and different outlooks because of their experiences, their beliefs. So, and I've met many people that I don't believe in that. That's fine. What makes us believe? I don't know. What makes us not believe is interesting, and I find that interesting. Like I said, when I worked at BK, we had a resident ghost. I called him Gasper, and you could physically see him, and it wasn't a mist. It wasn't see through. It was a solid apparition, but it would always move in a certain way. So now, is that just replaying something, which some people believe that is a thing, where it's not a haunting and it's not interactive. It's just like a VCR tape, just replaying itself. But there was a couple of times where we may, it would he would slow down and actually look at me, like eye contact, and that's uh, was it unsettling? Damn right. Was I scared? Yeah, damn right. But I spent 7 years in that building, a lot of that time alone, and I never felt, scared or, I mean, a little nervous at first, but as the years went on, you know, he wasn't gonna hurt me or anything. But he did. He would push you. You'd be at the desk doing your paperwork. Nobody's in the building. Everything's locked. Just me. I got the radio on. The only lights I had on were in the office and just the menu board. Everything else is shut down. The radio was off. The restaurant radio. Everything's powered down. And be doing my reports or getting ready to put in a order. Something you could feel a hand, and it was a hand. You could feel like somebody pushing on your back, you up against the desk, because it was a stand up. It wasn't a sit down. They wouldn't let us sit down. If you want to sit down, you had to go in the dining room. I had my booth, which was my office. Pretty sad, but it was my office. So, and you would feel it just nudge you. What the hell do you want? Just I don't know. But that's my experience. Now, my boss had told me that stuff, and so did she implant it in my head? So I don't know, but she told me that, and I had the same experiences. So I don't know. So I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know. Let me know down in the comments. You think, blah, blah, crazy after work. Yeah, you're right. My wifey would tell you, yeah, he's gone. I don't know why she's still with me. Oh, yeah, because I'm funny. My dad used to say, boy, you should be a stand-up comic. I'm like, well, why? You think I'm funny? He goes, well, you're physically funny. Because I am the shortest of my family. Everybody in my family's 5'10", 6'2". I am 5'3", about 5'3". I'm the runt of the litter. But my mom was shot. So what? This is true. This is true. My mom was shot. My mom was just under 5 feet, and she drove a big ass school bus too. So, and my dad was almost 6 foot. So I look like my dad and got my mother's height. I should have sued them both because I got screwed on both those ends of it. Damn. But at least I got a somewhat decent personality. Not always great, but yeah. So let me know what's going on in the comments. What you guys think. I really hope to hear from you. So please take care. You keep collecting. Peace.